Hi everyone, welcome to the RFOX Weekly AMA. It's Lenny Clifford here, the host, and I'm here with Benny Fairbank, the CEO and co-founder of RFOX. How you doing, Benny?
Yeah, I'm doing good, and you?
Yeah, doing very well, thanks. Enjoying the views from up here. Look at it.
Yeah, it's great. An eagle eye view. Climbing up on buildings, that's something that you don't get to do every day in your normal life, isn't it?
It's good fun. And how's life going for you? It's good. How's the market? What are you seeing at the moment? The ETH's pumping a bit. It's a good feeling, although I think it's a bit of a tease though. But nice to see anyway.
Yeah, I think obviously you look for a catalyst to what's changed to make the market go up, and there's not anything massively significant that's causing this stuff to happen. So generally speaking, when we go through this bear market cycles, you sort of have this range that you trade in, and you get these little pumps and then these little pullbacks and then pumps and pullbacks, and it tends to go sideways if you zoom out for some period of time before you get a parabolic breakout. But obviously, just heads down, bums up for us. We're trying to make sure that we finish all the stuff that we've got on the horizon at the moment. So it's pretty exciting and keeping us going.
Yeah, sure is. A lot to do. And how about we start off with just the general ecosystem updates for this week?
Yeah, so as you know, we've been working on the Android and iOS version of the Vault, which is fantastic, and then obviously a PC version as well. So this gives us more entry points, and it's going to be interesting to see how quickly the sort of percentage of users in the VR space sort of climbs as an overall percentage. We've got the internal testing of our new game is already underway, which is fantastic, which means it's not far from getting into the public's hands, which is very good. We've done some crafting and burning of cogs for a new collection, Grimspiel. So that's been successful as well. We've burned well over, I think, 100,000 cogs now. So that's going to keep continuing to grow. We've got another couple of games looking to enter the ecosystem, finalising another couple of collections that are going to go out on the NFT platform soon, and we're sort of doing some more integration pieces, widgets and stuff for RFOX TV, as well as also some art generation tools and some more features for the NFT platform as well. So it's keeping us very busy.
Yeah, a lot going on there. The team sure is busy. And you've also been pretty busy with interviews and panel discussions. I saw that you're at GeckoCon last week. How'd that all go?
Yeah, it's really good especially to talk to people like Irene and Sebastian, because all got different sort of backgrounds and views, and it's fantastic to bring together a group of people in a forum like that. And to get a really good interviewer like that is also very rare in this space, someone who actually understands what they're actually asking and talking about. So I thought it was one of the better panels I've been on for sure.
Good to hear. Now, in the Friday Fireside last week, you mentioned the Vault rebuild was nearly complete and that would set it up for stability and scaling. What are the plans and targets for scaling the Vault?
Yeah, so as you know, with if you look around here, you can see that there's not anybody in here at this particular point in time. And what we're trying to do is, and we've always tried to do, is you've got two methods, right? When you go to launch something, you sort of go out with your MVP, try and establish that product market fit, and take a little bit of time to sort of let people come in casually and grow that organically, make sure that you're fixing bugs, listening to feedback, versus waiting until you've got a fully completed, polished product, which is obviously not the way we want it to go. So what we need to start doing now that we've got the Android and iOS versions right around the corner, we need to make sure that we're starting to let in bigger groups of people as we go. But what's really important is if you come in here and walk around and have a look at things, we don't want you to come into this sandbox or test environment and sort of look around after 5 minutes and say, yep, I've seen it, now I'm done. What we want to make sure is that we're letting the people in as things are getting activated. So as I said, there's games coming in and there's stuff that we're going to talk about later that we'll put in here to provide some sort of an engagement and reason for people to come back. So that's really important. When you start flooding people in, they've got to have something to see and stand around and talk about. So Yeah, so that's what we've been working on, and we're getting the code base stable for mass scaling, and then obviously making sure that our partners can come in and implement their games and their applications.
Okay, that's great. And just looking at other metaverse projects out there and how they're approaching things, I did see Yuga Labs, Otherside. They just demoed with over 4,000 avatars playing at once. So I'm not sure if it was actually 4,000 at one time, but look, it was rammed in there, and I'm sure Meta would have been concerned about all the personal space that was being violated. But did you see footage of that gameplay? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's ways where you can overlay instances, and you can make sure that you've got the scalability of being able to have, we were told originally you can only have 20 people, then there was 30 people. We worked out how to get it up to 100 people, but then you can run multiple instances at once, so that is possible. But yeah, getting back to the space and that type of thing, I think that it's something that people are attacking differently as far as whether you can reach out and touch somebody versus personal space and ghosting and passing through. And I think there's a lot of still conjecture around the collision and how that all works. But yeah, good on them. I mean, there's a lot of people that are building at the moment, which is fantastic. And a lot of stuff, like we could demo something right now or put together something right now that could show a squillion people in here, especially non-player characters. But what our aim is at the moment is to make sure that there's enough engaging things in here for people to come into and have these users come in that are real people like yourself and myself driving behind here and actually engaging and having something decent to talk about.
Okay, sure, that makes sense. Now, I see that Fortnite can have 3 million players in at one time, and Amazon.com had 2.4 billion e-commerce visitors last May. Now, what would it take to get that larger capacity in the Vault? Because to fulfill basic metaverse use cases like community gatherings, activations, events, and having those shops open to sell products, and in the end, to hit revenue targets, you need a lot of traffic in there. You need a lot of people. So what does it take?
Yeah, it's a good question. And I think that just going back to your previous part, like you got Valorant has like 800,000 daily users and Second Life 200,000. And then you go back to the blockchain side of things and you've got, 1,080 over at Sandbox and 980 at Decentraland. So there's a long way to go for the metaverse spaces that are building in this particular space to sort of catch up to some of the bigger platforms out there. But ultimately, giving people access to Android and stuff makes it a lot easier as well. And giving iOS and Android and mobile applications, that allows things to be, that allows us to do things a little bit differently. But what we're doing is, if you build a lot of stuff in VR, a lot of it translates to mobile as well. So like some of the games that are coming in that are VR will also be playable for people on their iOS and their on their apps as well. So the thing is that in the past, I think that scalability has probably been an issue, and the development of VR and mobile phones have been sort of at different stages. They're fairly even in their capacities now, and mobile progresses very quickly. VR is progressing very quickly. I think that you'll see that combining mobile, VR, and PC, we're going to have no problems in being able to try and sort of work out scalability to a point where it becomes, like you say, very well attended, and you've got those types of large numbers coming through every month. I mean, you look at this space, we've got the first quarter, so Calanova, which is being built now, which we've already got the opportunity to walk through with a headset, which is great. So looking forward to spoiling some of that to the public soon. It actually is a little bit bigger than this, but it seems to be a lot bigger. And I don't know what your estimation is, but if you look at how much room we've taken up, I reckon you can fit, theoretically, with a nice bit of space, you could easily fit hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people simultaneously in here, potentially thousands. Yeah. So I think that the space will allow us to be able to, with the four quarters and the middle piece, to have absolutely bustling sort of numbers. And again, you can do some interesting things with instances. If we have a concert in that dome, once you go in that dome's a different instance, right? You can make it as big and as wide and expansive as you like. So we've got the opportunity to really sort of play with sizes and areas. And again, being in space, if you go into these shops are they're like the TARDIS from Doctor Who. They're much, much bigger on the inside than they are on the outside. So we've got the freedom to play around with space.
Yeah, definitely. Doctor Who, do you think the Gen Zs will understand what that is?
I don't know, mate. Would you like a jelly baby?
Good points there, and I can just imagine running off this and doing a stage dive. Fantastic. The opportunities and the possibilities are endless. And now let's move along. I want to ask you a little bit about interoperability with other metaverses. And now it's good to see metaverse players like RFOX and Yuga's Otherside committed to Web3 interoperability, like giving the ability for digital assets like NFTs to travel between different metaverses. It's such early days now, and way to go till it's commonplace for avatar interoperability. But the real exciting stuff for me is the unifying of these economies. Now, Benny, as you've designed RFOX's economic system, how do you go about building it with the end in mind when everything's so fluid at this early stage?
You've got to have a really sort of clear picture as to what you want. So what we said was we wanted a platform and a space that we could plug in all of the products and tools that we build. And what we wanted was each of those products and tools to be a showcase of what was possible. So we've always said since day one, we'll never be the best game. We'll never have the best finance product. We'll never have the best content on TV. But we'll bring all of those in, showcase how they all work, and we'll connect them in a unified platform. So you've got to have that very clear vision of, your North Star of where we're headed. But like you say, technology movements, fluidity, you've still got people dealing with the blockchain trilemma. You've got it's slow to build with certain technology integration. There's legislative issues. So certain things move very quickly and they fall into line when you kind of need them. And other things kind of lag behind or race ahead. And that makes it very, very hard to line up. So what you've got to do is basically just sort of say, look, let's work on one piece at a time and one tool at a time. And if anyone told you they knew exactly what order our tools would come out in and exactly how and when it would plug together would be lying to you. We've got a very clear vision of what we wanted to build and what we wanted to offer. But how that comes together, like you say, is very much a fluid thing, and you've got to roll with the punches, right? And then you've got bear markets and bull markets to deal with, and you've got lots of different shifting landscapes. Not for the faint-hearted, and we've had a lot of people come into our company externally, for like consultants and people that have come in and had a look, and I think that people get quite blown away with how complicated it is on the inside, because on the outside it might look like it's a fairly simple offering, just hurry up, get it out, but it's actually a lot harder than people think. So, but the interoperability side of things, if I take my avatar, this is something I talk about a bit. If I went into the sandbox, for example, and then my avatar wanted to come back, I might need a pixelated version or a Roblox structured version of my avatar to be able to be represented in the same way in Sandbox. Now, in the Sandbox, I might have bought a Smurf t-shirt, and Sandbox might own the rights to Smurfs. So therefore, it doesn't port me across to the RFOX Vault, because there could be a licensing issue that says, hey, the Smurf material cannot be used outside of Sandbox. It must be contained to that, depending on the contract. So you've got licensing, contracting, IP, different forms of avatars. There's no unified system yet. It's like every country in the early days with the mobile phones. It's not like we're all on GSM or anything. We're not all on the same 4G network. So there's a bit of a way to go before we see that fluidity. But what you're seeing at the moment is people that have represented their NFTs by a helmet or a headset or a TV, and it's got your avatar on the inside, or they'll say, you give me your avatar, Lenny, that looks like that, and I'll swap it for a little dude in Sandbox that looks like this. And that NFT can come across, but the representation that you own that is by this animal or beast or whatever it is. So we're still at that stage. We're still at the stage where you've got that, we'll give you this, because we can't give you what you've got in there yet.
All right, well, a lot to consider there, and so much to do for Web3 pioneers. with that, let's finish up, Benny. Thanks a lot for your time. But any final updates?
No, I just think stay tuned to the socials. Join us for our AMAs on Wednesday, and lots is coming out and lots is happening, as you can all see. So just try and keep an eye on the socials, and we'll keep you updated. But thank you very much for joining.
All right, thanks everyone. Cheers, Benny. Should we finish off practicing a stage dive from off here? Run and jump. Okay.